Are you ready for some fun? I'm Carol O'Halloran, the Positive Aging Warrior, and this is Over 50, So What? Have you got a will? If you do have, are you fully comfortable with it, or do you have some questions? Will Bets gives us some clarification around the topic of wills. Then move that body, either sitting or standing, in the fun 5-minute fitness segment. This show is designed for the third age, which is defined as the active retirement phase after your working years, before you get to advanced old age. Today we're going to learn about some easy, fun ways you can keep active at home in your third age. Third age fitness. %58% of adults don't have a will, and some wills are contested. Today we're with Will Betts from PCLC at a free public forum on wills and power of attorney. Will is answering common questions from attendees and clarifying when do you need to change your will. We also find out more about the Peninsula Advisory Committee for Elders and how you might be able to help elders in your area.
One question for Will, which will require a very brief answer, but then another one if I may. Firstly, you said 74% of contested wills are successful, but what percentage of wills are contested? In a more complicated sense, how far can one use PCLC in preparation of a will?
I don't know the exact figure, but I would say it is much, much less than, I would probably put it in the 5 to 10% range. Now, just to expand on that 74%, the majority of that 74% relate to what's technically called testator family maintenance, which is where a family member contests the will to say, I did not receive a benefit when I should have or ought to have had. And I had a reasonable expectation that I would receive that benefit. And as I said, that's often successful because of the way that the will has been drafted. In relation to what PCLC can provide, generally we can provide advice in relation to drafting of a will, and we do not draft wills except for in particular circumstances where the person is in hospice, and that's generally in quite extreme circumstances. The reason for that is we are a free community legal centre. We have limited resources. In terms of drafting of a will, I would say that there are many, many solicitors that offer quite reasonable costs for the drafting of wills. Often they'll even come to your home, and as I said, there's a reason for that. There is, drafting of a will can allow for that person to then assist with the estate at a later stage, and that's where sometimes they'll be able to draw some of those funds from charging it to the estate. So it's always worth having that discussion.
The cost.
Listen, comparatively speaking, compared to many legal costs, you can have there are people that would draft a will for anywhere between $250 to $1,000. It very much depends upon the complexity of the will and the complexity of the estate. Another question I get asked often is, well, okay, I've spoken to my beneficiaries, I've spoken to my executor, well, now what do I do? Can I draft the will myself, or do I need to engage a solicitor? The answer to that question is generally in two parts. The first is, how complex is my estate? Do I just own a home and some superannuation? Perhaps then it may not be worth engaging a solicitor. It may be something that you can do yourself. But if you have a complex estate, large amounts of money, businesses, share portfolios, trusts, then absolutely you should be looking at getting solicited. Similarly, do you have a complicated family? Do you have stepchildren, step-grandchildren? Do you have children that have ex-partners and things like that? Do you have ex-partners? Do you have people that you want to leave in relation to a trust? Those complications in relation to your family, even when you've got a simple estate, is something that you should really look at getting a solicitor draft so you can make sure that your wishes are then represented in the will. Often, as I said, the issues that come up in relation to wills are family members. The way to prevent that is to have those conversations early, have them often. Another thing is to always be revisiting your will. My general ballpark figure is around 10 years. Have a think about whether your circumstances have changed, whether that's financial or family. If you're in that position, you can always come to PCLC to seek some advice in relation to your will. We are not in a position to draft wills for you, but we're obviously a very good free first step to perhaps decide whether you need to redraft your will, or what kind of questions you should be asking the solicitor that you do engage to draft your will in relation to the making of trusts, or how to make arrangements that support my wishes.
We're chatting with Leonie, who's past chair with PACE, the Peninsula Advisory Committee for Elders, and she's still a hard worker on the committee. Now, Leonie, PACE, the Committee for Elders, or Advisory Committee for Elders, what does it do?
Well, basically we are a group of 13 volunteers who feel that as we get older we want to have some input into how we age on the peninsula and to age well. So we've all volunteered our time and have joined PACE to be able to advise the Shire on issues that directly relate to our age group. And we have all sorts of issues that we discuss, things that we're involved in at a local level.
What sort of forums do you do?
The main forum that really is part of what the positive ageing strategy that is organised by the Shire needs to have happen is the forums where we check with the community, and that's when we ask questions about what's going well on the peninsula as far as ageing, and also what perhaps where there might be gaps. But a lot of what we're doing is in smaller working groups. So we have one working group that is working on elder abuse and another one that's on housing. I personally have a feeling that there are a lot of older women on the peninsula that really struggle to have safe housing available to them, and that for me has been my priority since I've been on PACE.
Yes, one of the greatest growth groups in homelessness, the over 50 women.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, if someone's in the community like yourself, they really want to do something, they want to make things happen in their area, they're concerned about different things, they want to be involved with PACE, what do you suggest?
Well, the positive ageing group that is based at the Shire would be the first port of call, and by going on the Shire's website they'd be able to find the PACE section. But also too, I think that just being aware of those people around you and offering assistance just as an individual to people that might be lonely, because I think loneliness is one of the issues that a lot of people don't necessarily want to reach out to an organisation from the Shire or even from us. But to know your local neighbours, to do it really on a ground-based level, I think is really important too.
And the community visitor scheme is great for that too.
Yes, it is.
That's all volunteer too.
And things like delivery of meals, the Meals on Wheels system. One of our members on PACE is involved in that too. So the members on PACE really represent a wide range of experiences. So we bring knowledge of other parts of the community that we're involved in.
Now, for people that aren't in this area, they're in South Australia or around Victoria, where would they find a similar group? How would they contact their local council? Or?
Well, the local council would be your first port of call. In Victoria, many councils and municipalities do have either a positive ageing section or they have a ageing well section. In, I think it's June, we'll have the World Elder Abuse Day, and that's the time when we really want to spread the word of, being vocal about elder abuse and calling it what it is and knowing where to go if you need help if you're suffering from elder abuse, whether that's financial or emotional or physical or whatever it might be.
Well, thank you for all your good work, and hopefully there's a lot more people watching will want to jump on in their local area, become more involved.
I think it's an important area to really sort of get involved in, particularly as we all are ageing. We'll all get there.
Yes.
There's no point where you can say, no, I want to get off that boat and get on another one.
Yeah.
And I think it's really good to have an input into it, because otherwise, things won't change unless you make them change.
Hi everybody, yes, 5 Minute Fitness. And we're going to do some disco. We've got fabulous Faye sitting here in the chair showing how you can do it sitting down. No excuses. Just check the floor space around you. No cords, no mats, no dogs, no cats. Now we're going to do a very basic disco move called the grapevine. Some of you can go straight into it. So we're going to show you the slow version. Here we go. Step, behind, step, tap. Step, behind, step, tap. Step, behind, step, tap. Step. Okay, now I'm going to speed it up. And we go. Step, behind, step, tap. Step, behind, step, tap. Step, behind, step, tap. Step, behind, step, tap. If you want to put a clap on the end, get a bit of that attitude going, the disco attitude. Come on, disco kings and queens. When you're out with Saturday Night Fever, you might put a bit of a spin into it. It's a bit hard on the grass. So, a bit hard in your living room too. A bit hard on the chair. We're just waiting for Faye's head to spin around instead. Last one. On the spot. 1, 3, 4, 2 overhead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 overhead. That's it. 2. Up. Up. And up. Up. And up. 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 Yeah. Nice. Positive upbeat music. Last one. Okay, we're going to do 2 steps that way. Let's go. Step together, step, tap, step together, step, tap, step together, step, tap, step. That's it. Remember to keep all your steps small till you get used to the move. Just work within your limitations. And now we're going to put in another common disco move, hitchhiker. Oh yeah. Those of you who've been watching 5 Minute Fitness for a while, you know that I normally like to put a bit of a bounce into everything. So put your own little bit of flavour into it. And we're not talking chocolate flavour. Or maybe we are. Okay, last one. Now we do a single step touch, 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 touch. That's it. And we do the hitchhiker. Single hitchhiker. And where are we hitching a ride to today?
Well, the pub.
Faye said she's hitching a ride to the pub. That means she doesn't have to drive home. Uh-oh, we've got some swans on the horizon. Now I'm going to take it forward. Just check the space around you. And take it back. We
we can do that again, can't we? Yes. Yes, we can. And take it back. Okay, walking on the spot. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hop! Hop! Yeah! 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah! Hop! 1, 2, 3. Now we're gonna bring it forward. Hey! And back. That's it. So you feel better than when you started, don't you? Okay, hold the pose. Hitchhiker. Good stuff, everyone.
Today on Energy for Life, we're with Carol Edmeades from Third Age Fitness. Carol and her daughter Trudy teach fitness classes, a wide range of fitness classes for older adults. And they also train instructors, those people wanting to work with older adults and those with limited mobility.
Right, are we ready to go? Yes, yes. And the thumbs up. Good, let's march it up. Swinging those arms. Now make sure you start engaging those abdominals.
So ladies, tell us all about how you started this Third Age Fitness.
Well, the idea was actually Trudy's, and she, because I've been teaching older adults for
40, 50
years, she thought that it'd be a great idea if I could pass on that experience that I had in teaching them to other fitness instructors that were younger and coming up through to be teaching in the older adults.
So the idea, Trudy, was for her to focus on the training other instructors, or a bit of both, teaching people face-to-face and training?
Well, there's always going to be, we're both fitness instructors, so there's always going to be face-to-face teaching, and that's what we love doing. But then Carol was invited to run a workshop in one of the fitness centres and pass on and do some training, and I said, oh, can I come with you? And so we did that together, and then that was when after I said, oh, maybe we should look at doing this a bit more officially and start putting together our own courses and things like that, because I'm an older adult instructor and I know that there's not a lot of training out there, so I thought, I'm sure there's other instructors who are thinking the same, that we need more ideas and we need support and we want to connect with other instructors. So we thought, let's put together all Carol's knowledge, and I'm on the computer and doing that side of things, and so yeah, we make a good team.
So you've set up this amazing studio here. Tell us about how you set the studio up.
Well, we wanted to present to the other instructors that do our courses, and also the people that come along to our live classes. We wanted to present as professional approach as we could, and it's been a thing that's grown over time, and
certainly gets a little slicker each year,
yes,
and
yes.
we think, why didn't we do this at the start? But we just didn't know. So we are all self-taught in the production side of things.
So you've been teaching face-to-face, and you're still teaching face-to-face
Yes,
in a facility.
yes.
So when did you transition to adding in the on-demand or the online?
Well, probably COVID pushed us and a lot of people into it. Because Zoom became such an everyday thing that people got used to using, and so that's when we sort of transitioned over into the classes online.
And we also started early on with the DVDs. That was probably one of the first things that we recorded when we, back during COVID times. So we did DVDs and tried to get those out to people because we knew that they'd be at home and not able to get to gyms. So we put together as many resources as we could for older adults to keep exercising. So and offered during COVID, we offered our classes. We did run live classes, but they were free. So we made our resources free for participants who wanted to keep exercising at home.
So tell us about the training of the instructors. I mean, someone sitting today watching us, I used to do fitness when I was younger. I wouldn't mind, teaching other people, getting back into it, and I know people like that. Yeah. How do they go about it, about training up to work with older adults?
Well, it depends what situation you're going into teaching. We have people that are council people, we have people in retirement villages that are teaching older adults, and they do our courses.
Yeah, like our chair-based course is probably one of the foundations and a great place to start if for instructors who want to learn more about older adults, and the chair-based exercise is what interests them. So sometimes for fitness centres, they'll say that they require the Cert 3 and 4 in fitness as a base qualification, and then instructors can come to us for that specialised older adults training. So it just depends if people are looking for fitness centre work or if they want to start their own business, and and they can get qualified in specific older adults training with us.
So you're obviously not over 50.
No.
And you would have started when you were under 50 as well. Yeah. I mean, I was working with the over 50-year-olds when I was only 30. So what would you say to a younger person, about working with older adults, why they should consider it, even though they're not in that demographic?
Well, it's definitely easier on the body. It's a lot, I don't want to say it's a lot more fun, but I think it's more fun. So we have a lot of fun in our classes, but that's not to say that younger participants don't have fun in theirs. It's just a really rewarding career, focusing on older adults. They're often a lot more, there's a lot more longevity. So I was talking to an instructor yesterday, and she took over a class a couple of years ago, and they've had the same participants for 30 years. It's the same group of people who have been at this fitness centre for 30 years. So, there's a real stability in your classes, there can be, and you build up a real community. It really is about the community, and, they just invite you into the family, and you become one of them. And often I get a lot of sort of treated like a daughter. So people want to hear about my life and what's happening with me, and they look after me and they love me, and so it's wonderful.
And there's a big social thing, isn't there? So when you're doing the face-to-face in particular, you all sort of seem to go out and have coffee afterwards and a bit of cake maybe.
Absolutely, there is coffee.
There is coffee. Yeah. Definitely. Yeah.
So this is an unusual question. What's the oldest person who has applied to do your instructor course?
I think we know an older aqua instructor what's his age?
97.
That's our oldest, because he does our courses.
Yes, he does our courses.
So we've got a 97-year-old.
Yes.
Doing our online training and doing just fine with the tech. He's working it out and he's still teaching, and so he's 97. If you are looking for a career change on something fun you can do maybe on the side, especially if you've got young kids, a fabulous way that you can incorporate exercise. So you don't have to do it in your own time. You can get paid to exercise. Sign up and become an older adult fitness instructor, and then you'll have a rewarding new career that could last for decades and decades. And it's a fabulous way to get fit, but also meet some really wonderful people and become a really honoured and valuable part of their lives as well. It's a real privilege to be able to speak into the lives of older adults and help them exercise and stay healthy. So I highly recommend it.
A big thank you to all the viewers who've been watching the show. It's great to get your comments and suggestions. Be sure to check out the YouTube channel so you can keep doing your 5-minute fitness every day. Start doing classes in the comfort of your own home with Third Age Fitness, and contact your local community legal centre if you have queries about wills and power of attorney. Please connect with us and subscribe on YouTube, Facebook and Insta.
Replays also found on our website. Let's make our third age active, healthy and fun so we can power on into our fourth age. I'm Carol, over 50, so what?